Hello, everyone. Today's topic is um, rather a difficult one, actually. This happens to some of my clients, not all of them, but some of them do come with this issue. Um, and it's along the lines of help. My narcissistic parent has seen the videos I've been watching on YouTube about narcissistic parents. So, has this happened to you? And if it has, you'll really resonate with some of the feelings that come up when it does. Or maybe this is something that you're afraid of ever happening. So you try to keep your research and your exploration very much personal and in the background, never mentioning anything about narcissism or anything like that. Well, this video, I hope, will help you understand why it can be such a fearful thing, but then also about how to handle it. Um, so let's get started. So, for example, there you are. You're really coming to terms with the reality of the narcissistic family system you were born into. In particular, you finally started to make sense of the highly challenging, sort of, what can I say, really difficult relationship that you've had with one of your parents, who you now believe may have quite high signs of narcissism. And it's actually brought you a bit of relief. It's really helped to sort of understand that actually it wasn't all you that was in the wrong, or it wasn't there wasn't anything wrong with you for feeling these feelings of animosity between you both. And then, out of the blue, that particular parent, let's say mother in this situation, drops the bombshell on you, on your secret research and your newfound sense of understanding and actually restoration of a bit of self-confidence, a bit of empowerment over the relationship. And she says, "Oh, don't worry. I've seen all the videos you've been watching. Oh, so you think I'm a narcissist, do you then?" And your jaw drops. You've been found out. What on earth do you say? And you're left there wondering how on earth to respond. But also, you may feel a huge wave of guilt rising up within you and a return of the empathy for the parent may come back suddenly. And you start to think, maybe question yourself, gosh, maybe I'm doing something really hurtful here. So you may start to frantically backpedal and try to fob it off. You might say something like, "Oh no, it's just for a friend," or "I'm doing some research for work," or something like that. Or you may be bold and just say, "Well, look, I mean, if it resonates with you, ma'am, well, then maybe there is something that you need to look at in therapy." But often neither of those responses are going to satisfy the parent. Because in truth, if your parent is a narcissist, the moment's going to be more painful for you than for them. For them, it's only an affront to their false self. It's like they're being exposed, and that's the last thing on earth a narcissist is going to cope well with. And so you'll likely get a rage at what they've discovered, but then very little sort of action taken thereafter in terms of doing anything about it. Now, your guilt stems from years of empathizing with your parent, with the one who has actually hurt you. You've spent years seeing things through their eyes, feeling for them instead of yourself, and often sometimes defending them, and in return receiving apathy. You were taught to have the parent on a pedestal and to make their happiness your sort of, and their positive affirmation of you, your number one priority in life. That was all you sought. You may even have been an extension of them. And so you can imagine being an extension of your parent. The parent doesn't see you as separate from them. So something like this is almost a clear sign of you detaching, of self-differentiating, and for them that's like losing a limb. And so your heart feels really heavy often when something like this happens, because there's a sense also, oh my goodness, we can't go back. I can't go back to how it was with before. So how do we handle this? How do we handle our guilt on one hand and also the narcissistic parent on the other? Well, number one, and I do need to remind people this, this is not about blaming your narcissistic parent, but rather what it is, it's about your exploration of the family system of apathy and abuse into which you were born. Now, yes, your mother was part of that system, but she was also as much a victim of it as you. But the difference is you are the one choosing to put an end to it, to take responsibility and put an end to it. In that sense, her seeing the videos that you've been watching is her being exposed to, or not exposed, is almost like a way of offering her the opportunity to leave the system too, to heal. It's like it's a moment of light entering in and opening up a way for her to explore her own childhood wounds, her own disconnect from her parents, the abuse that she suffered as a child. And this system has gone back centuries, multi-generations before you. This is where it's come from. So you're doing this research and her finding out about it. It's not that it's all gone wrong. It's actually, this is part of the healing of the family system. And yes, it's going to make people feel extremely uncomfortable. But that's the only way to grow. We don't grow in a comfort zone. We grow in our uncomfortable zone. So each of us must step up and take stock of how we've been affected and impaired so that we can heal the illness in our souls. Just like each of us, though, just like Mum, each of us has perpetuated the system by holding it up. But it's beginning now to fall as the light enters in. So once again, your parent is not the one to blame, but like you, they must take responsibility and be accountable and begin to change themselves, just like you are. In that way, your mother seeing what you have been watching is a moment of healing. It hasn't all gone wrong, and it's not a demonization of her, but it's rather a sign of healing happening. And you see, ultimately, we each have a choice, and the universe will bring us these choices for healing. We can either remain in the system and try to hold it up, or we can be part of its unraveling once and for all. I hope that's helpful for those of you struggling with situations like this. If you'd like to work with me, a big part of my course actually is personal accountability. Um, we do, each of us need to take personal accountability of how we have perpetuated that family system, because we all have. Um, so if that sounds like something you'd like to have as part of your healing journey and you're ready for a deep dive, book in with me, and we can get you bringing even more light into this multi-generational system of disconnect and apathy and abuse. It's time for change. Thanks, everybody. Have a lovely afternoon. Take care.